Every day is Halloween for Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, that is an oxymoron right there, right? Because obviously Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't celebrate holidays, especially Halloween, right? But now, what do I mean by that when I say that every day is Halloween for Jehovah's Witnesses? Well, every day, Jehovah's Witnesses, they put on what they call the new personality, right? They try to develop this new personality. It's pretty much when you pretty much have to think like everybody else in an organization, right? So when you think like everybody else, and you're pretty much taught to not be yourself. No Jehovah's Witness could ever say that they're being their true, authentic self. That's a lie. Jehovah's Witnesses are molded to think just like everybody else in the organization. So if you're thinking like somebody else and you're not being your true self, that means, in a figurative sense, you're putting on a costume. Now, every year, October 31st, people go out, they go out for trick-or-treating, they wear their costumes. But Jehovah's Witnesses, they have a costume that they never take off. Every time they go out in service, every time they go to the meetings, they're putting on this costume. And this costume, they appear to be spiritual to other witnesses. It's all a facade. It's all a facade. When Jehovah's Witnesses, when they go out in service, for instance, right? They know damn well whether they're standing in front of a cart or whether they're going door knocking, right? They know damn well no one is going to listen to them. They know damn well that no one's going to be receptive to the information that they have, right? They know damn well before they go out in service, they're going to be standing in front of the cart the whole day. No one's going to approach them. They know if they go door knocking, no one's going to no one wants to hear the information that they have to say. No one wants to hear about this doomsday cult, right? So deep down inside, they know preaching is a waste of time. They already know this before they go out in service, right? This is what I'm talking about with this costume. Every day is Halloween. Every day. Now, if they know subconsciously, if they know that it's a waste of time and they still do it, why do they do it? Why do they go out in service if they know it's a waste of time? If they know no one's going to listen to them? They do it because at the end of the day, people want to be liked. People want to be loved. People want to be accepted, right? And they know that they don't go out in service, if they don't go to the meetings, they're going to be looked at and viewed as bad association. Oh, this person, they're going to the meetings, but they're not commenting. You know what? I haven't seen that brother in service in quite a while now. We may have to keep some distance from him. So what do people do? Like I said, every day is Halloween for Jehovah's Witnesses. Every day, they put on this spiritual suit of armor, right? Where they appear to be spiritual so that other people could see them coming at the meetings, so that other people could see them out in service. Even though I just said service is a complete waste of time. They know this. Every Jehovah's Witness, they know damn well service is a waste of time. No one approaches them at the carts. When they go door knocking, people don't open their doors and say, "Hey, I've been waiting for you. Thank you for coming." That doesn't happen. Jehovah's Witnesses, they get doors slammed in their face all the time. In fact, over 90% of witnesses, the majority of witnesses, they never ever bring anybody into the organization. It's a complete waste of time. But like I said, it's Halloween for them. 24/7, 365, because they need to put on that costume where they appear spiritual so that other witnesses could see them and pull, oh, this person is spiritual. We like them. It's all about appearances. It's all about appearances in this organization. Now, I was on the phone with my grandfather. Me and him, we speak every week, right? But I was on the phone with him recently, and me and him, we always talk about the organization, right? Because we're the only two that woke up. We're the only two that woke up. Everybody else in our family, they're fast asleep, sad to say. But my grandfather was saying how He woke up after 50 years, but he was saying how a lot of people, they're scared to wake up. They're scared to even think about this not being the truth. I'm talking about people who invested decades in this organization, right? Decades. And he said to me, he said, Jerome, why do you think, a lot of people are scared to do the research? We said, what's your opinion, right? I said, a lot of people, they don't want to come to the conclusion that they wasted decades of their lives, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. No one wants to come to that conclusion. Even if they have doubts, they don't want to approach those doubts. I said to him, I said, Grandpa, what's worse, wasting 50 years of your life or prolonging those doubts, right? Prolonging it, and then you waking up after 70 years. And when it comes to witnesses, right? When it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, it is way easier for them. It is way easier for them to keep that costume, that figurative costume on, right? And playing this land of make-believe. That's way easier for them than for them to face reality, than for them to face the music and realize that, oh shit, this religion is not the truth. This is not it. Witnesses don't want to come to that conclusion, because when they come to that conclusion, their entire life is gonna change, right? Their entire life is gonna change, and no one wants to admit that they wasted decades of their life and something that's not even the truth. So instead, they keep this costume on. They keep this costume on where they appear to be spiritual, where they want to, where they have a community where they're already liked. I don't want to say love, because Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't really love anybody. I'll say this, they may like their brothers and sisters, but they don't really love their brothers and sisters, because when you love somebody, you accept them for who they are. Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't accept people for who they are. Jehovah's Witnesses, they only accept other like-minded individuals. They only accept other Jehovah's Witnesses. Once you start thinking critically, once you start thinking outside the box, they're done with you. So therefore, that's not real love, right? So they may like their brothers and sisters, right? And that's why Jehovah's Witnesses, they keep that damn costume on. Now, October 31st, people, like I said, they go trick-or-treating, they go out. At the end of the day, they take their damn costumes off. Jehovah's Witnesses, they wear costumes that they never take off. And you know what? To take it a step further, they kind of have to keep that costume on. Imagine, for instance, somebody like my mom. She's been in an organization for 40 years now, right? She founded the organization in her 20s. She's now in her 60s, right? Imagine my mom coming to the conclusion that this is not the truth. And she takes off that costume that she's been wearing for 40 years. What does she have now? Imagine someone discovering who they are. Imagine someone looking in the mirror, not knowing who they are. After 40 years of giving exclusive devotion to a religion, just to find out that it's not the truth. No one wants to come to that conclusion, especially in their, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. The older you are and the more time you give into this religion, the harder it is to peel back layers. Because we know you can't get that time back. So Jehovah's Witnesses, they keep that costume on. Because that costume, it keeps them away from reality. It keeps them away from thinking critically. And we as humans, a lot of time, we tend to do things the easy way. We always want the easy route, right? No one wants to struggle. No one wants to suffer, right? People tend to do things the easy way, right? And as I've always mentioned in my videos, Going the easy route now is detrimental to your both your physical and mental psyche later on. So the longer Jehovah's Witnesses keep these costumes on, right? The longer they play in the land of make believe, and they appear to be spiritual, so that other people in their community could continue to like them. The longer they do that, right? The harder it is for them to regain the person they truly are inside. Now, I was born and raised in this organization. Do you know how embarrassing it is when people ask me about my upbringing, and I have to pretty much tell them that my childhood was a lie, because I was literally born in this organization. My roots was a lie. But once I did my research, I discovered that this is not the truth. You think I'm going to keep playing in the land of make-believe because it's easy? Because I have a community? No. Once I did my research, I said, oh shit, it's time to go. I'm done with this. And it was hard as hell for me to find out who I was, discover my self-worth without the organization when I was born and raised in this. And now I gotta look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, who am I? Who the hell am I? I thought I was a witness. But when I did my research, I discovered that this is a lie. I'm not gonna pretend, I'm not gonna keep that costume on just to keep my community. I'm not doing it. If it's not the truth, adios, see you later. I'm going. I'm done. But you see, I discovered that a lot of witnesses, they can't do that. Sorry. They don't want to do it. Anyone could do that. Anyone could do their research and discover that, oh, this is not the truth. Let me move on with my life. Let me discover who I am outside of this religion. A lot of people, they don't want to do that. They're scared to do that. Like I said, they're scared to face reality. They're scared to face the music. They're scared to see what's on the other side of the watchtower. They're scared. So they keep that costume on, where they appear to be spiritual, so that other witnesses could continue to like them. Every day is Halloween for Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't take their costumes off. They don't know who they are outside of the religion. They don't know. And they're scared to. They're scared to find out. But you know what? At one point or another, they're going to have to face the music. Because they keep talking about, oh, the end is right around the corner. We're going to be in paradise any day now. And when paradise doesn't come, all these witnesses in their 20s, 30s, 40s, how are they going to feel in the next 50 years? How are they going to feel when they have to look in the mirror 50 years from now? They're in their 80s, 90s, and paradise didn't come. So they could keep that costume on all they want. They could appear spiritual, go to all the meetings, go out in service. They could do all that all they want. But at the end of the day, when paradise doesn't come, and they realize that they should have done the research, they're going to realize in the future they should have thought critically. They should have been more open-minded and not just blindly believe a group of men that claim to be God's people, God's chosen vessel on planet Earth. So they could keep that costume on all they want, but reality is going to catch up to them sooner or later. Sooner or later, every Jehovah's Witness on this planet is going to have to realize that, oh shit, I gave exclusive devotion to this religion. I did everything. I went out in service. I went to my meetings. I was coming at the meetings. I did my personal study. I did it all for nothing. They did it all for nothing because paradise ain't coming. And it's sad that we are on this planet for such a short period of time. People don't even live to be 100 anymore. So the short amount of time that we have on this planet, we have Jehovah's Witnesses that choose. They choose to keep on that costume because it's easy. They choose to play in a land of make-believe because it's easy. The short period of time that we have on this planet, people should be enjoying their lives to the fullest, living up to their true potential. You can't do that as a Jehovah's Witness. You have to keep that costume on 24/7, 365. You have to filter what you say around witnesses. You can't tell witnesses, oh, I watched a rated R movie. Huh? You did what? You see, the longer you keep that costume on, the longer you will never know your true identity. That's why witnesses remain witnesses, because they want to they want to keep that costume on. They want to keep their community, and it's going to catch up to them later on. We all reap what we sow, right? Jehovah's Witnesses, they choose to put their faith and trust in man. They choose to blindly believe the governing body leaders. And when paradise doesn't come, every Jehovah's Witness is going to have to look in the mirror and say, damn, I decided to play in the land of make-believe. I decided to keep this costume on where I appear spiritual to my brothers and sisters. I did everything. Meeting, service. I choose this route, this way of life. I choose to blindly believe in this organization, and I got nothing in return. That's going to be the reality that Jehovah's Witnesses are going to have to face in the future. All because they decided to keep the damn spiritual costume on, when they could have done their research on this religion, and they should have lived their life to their full potential. They should have been their true, authentic self. But people are scared to. They're scared to see what's on the other side of the watchtower. Anyway, guys, I love you guys. And I just want to encourage people, don't ever be scared. I mean, you are allowed to be scared, right? Your feelings are valid. You're allowed to be afraid. You're allowed to be scared of what's on the other side of the watchtower. But don't let that hinder you. Just because you're scared, don't let that hinder you from taking a leap of faith. Don't let you being afraid stop you from you become the person that you could be, the person that you should be. Because that's what I did. I took a leap of faith. I knew my gut was telling me that there was something wrong with this organization. I did my research. Thank God I did, right? Thank God I did. Because now I took off my costume. I'm becoming my true self, the best version of Jerron that I could possibly ever be. I couldn't be this version as a Jehovah's Witness. No way in hell. Because as a witness, you have to think like everybody else. You have to be like everybody else. The hell with that. Life is too short. Be yourself. Don't be like everybody else. Be yourself. We get one shot in this place called life. Only one shot. That's it. You can't get time back. None of that. So if this is the only life that we have, why not be the best version of yourself that you possibly can be? Anyway, guys, I love you. I'll see you guys on the next one.